Hello, beautiful people. Before I dive into today's topic, I want to make sure that you know about the 2 free live masterclasses that I'm running this weekend. So if you get my email love letters, you should already know about them, but if not, you can sign up to join us. The link is in the description, wherever that may be. And yes, there will be recordings available. So if you can't make it live, you still will get to watch it and get all of the gems that are in there. I'm so excited to connect with you this weekend and to hear some of you sing as well. So I hope that you can join me then. Okay, so let's talk language and instruction. So there are 2 main ways in which language can either lead a singer to a light bulb moment, like a breakthrough, or keep them feeling stuck and defeated. And the first one is being specific and human. So when I was a young singer, I was told a lot about what my voice couldn't do. So I was put into little boxes. I was a mezzo-soprano. My vocal break was an issue on about a G. I had tension when I tried to add power and it sounded shouty. And the response that I got to that was that I was sort of told to stay in my own lane or avoid certain songs, which made me then believe that it was something about my voice that just was. So it was unchangeable, it was unfixable, or that I was simply too stupid to figure it out. So if that resonates, let me know. Because I do hear this a lot from you too. And it's not just from beginners, but from those of you who have been singing for a long time. You'll put yourself in one of those boxes. So people might say, I can only sing low songs, or I can't sing low notes. I can't smooth my vocal break without adding tension, or my voice is too nasal, or I always strain when I go past this note, or my voice isn't bright enough. All of these statements, just like the ones that I was fed, put the brakes on. They end the conversation in defeat, in frustration, in grief sometimes. And what I want you to know is that they don't have to be a dead end, but they do need a follow-up question to open that up. So in those examples that I gave, I can only sing low songs. The question then needs to be, how exactly do I go about extending my range? I can't smooth my vocal break without creating tension is, what is causing my voice to break or flip here? And how can I solve that problem? If you feel like your voice is too nasal, the question then needs to be, what adjustments can someone make to add more fullness or warmth to their voice? If you always strain when you go past X note, when you're adding power, which I hear all the time from singers, what needs to change in the way we approach strong singing as we go higher? And the final one, if your voice isn't bright enough, you have to ask, what changes can I make to add brightness into my tone? So the first place that specificity needs to come into play is with you. You asking for more information about how to solve the problem, instead of just being stuck with the problem as this is just how my voice is. Now, some of you may be thinking, yes, Kim, I asked my singing teacher that and it's still not working. So, if that is the case, this is where specificity and humanness needs to come in from the coach. And what I'll offer around that is that maybe you need to ask additional questions to get that ball rolling. So how I see this show up is I have worked with singers and I will ask them how they've been fixing these issues up until now. So what approach have they been using before now? And in those conversations, I'll hear things like, oh, well, I just have to use my diaphragm. Or, oh, it works when I get forward placement. Or, I tense my abs and hope that that works. And I want you to know that those are incomplete answers, meaning that if doing those things hasn't solved what's frustrating you about your voice, that is not your fault, and it's not your voice's fault. All of these instructions need an added how. Your voice is waiting for you to teach it how. And if you don't understand how, it's not going to happen. Does that make sense? Those of you that are watching, hi. Let me know if this is resonating with you. So if a teacher offers an answer or an instruction that you don't know exactly how to execute or how to make that happen in your body, please ask more questions. I know it feels uncomfortable. I know that it feels challenging, and you just hope that they would explain it in a way that works for you straight off the bat. But you have to ask more questions. So it could be things like, what is the visceral human experience that gets me there? What is the intention or instruction that I need to give my body? And what should I be feeling to know that it's working? Because sometimes it is a very specific movement of your vocal tract, your jaw, your lips, your tongue. Sometimes it's a little bit more challenging and it needs a visual description or a physical kind of description. We need to go outside the realms of we can physically witness it happening or experiencing it happening. But it should be clear enough that you could help someone else do the exact same thing if you were asked to. And if not, please ask for more detail. So if you told somebody to sing with their diaphragm, they would have no freaking idea what you're talking about. And so you shouldn't feel like you should have all the answers with an incomplete instruction. Does that make sense? And if this is resonating for you, if you're like, oh my gosh, that was me, but with this, please leave a comment below. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And what I've written here, and this is a quote of the day, is snapshots or sound bites aren't enough for an instrument as complicated as the human body. We need more, okay? So please ask for more. So specificity and humanness. The second way in which language can either liberate or frustrate a singer is word choice. So language is powerful. The choice of words used in the answers that you're seeking matter. So notice how the flavor of words feels different. So the word discipline feels really different to the word devotion. Being witnessed, sharing your gift or your truth feels really different to performing. The thought, I should practice, feels really different to I get to practice, right? And it becomes even more important when we're getting into the specificity of singing. So it's a singing coach's job to notice what internalized response a singer has to specific words. So for many singers, the word sing even is connected to a very specific sound and collection of habits, a collection of feelings, right? So for example, someone who started singing in a church choir might consider this the right way to sing this note. Ah, right? That is what singing that note is to them. That's the only gear that they know. If you ask them to sing that note, that is what they're going to give you. Another person might be asked to sing that note. I've got to get the right one. But this sound comes out. Ah! And that's what singing means to them. So you ask them to sing that note, that is how they're going to deliver it. The problem arises when either singer wants to sing it differently, but they don't know how to get there. So asking them to sing this one louder or this one sweeter is not usually going to get them there. Again, how? How do you sing it louder? How do you sing it sweeter? We need more information. Hi, Cecilia. Of the thing you said about the difference between I should practice and I get to practice resonated with me. The same thing about performance. Still struggling with this. Yeah, and what I would even offer there is changing still struggling with this. Like, I'm exploring this. I'm still playing with the energy of these words. I still find myself drawn here when I really want to be here. So even the word struggling, which so many of us use and identify with, is another really interesting choice of language, right? I'll often catch singers, and those of you who have worked with me will know that one of my favorite words is yet. So someone might say, I can't do this, and I'll say yet. Important. It's an important addition. So getting back to this idea of singing, right? You've got this one singer who sings it in this really light quality and another singer that sings the exact same note in a much stronger quality, and that's what singing means to them. So if you ask them to sing that note, that is what they will give you. Singing as a word often has a specific meaning. So it lives in your body as a certain flavor, as a certain color, as a certain visceral experience. So in order to get around this, in order to provide a solution and to get different flavors out of a singer, we need to use different language. So sometimes I'll ask someone to make a sound, or tell me a story, or wail. Each of these instructions, each of these words, these different choices of language gets a different result. So sometimes it's not a technique per se that saves the day or delights the singer. It's a nuanced change in language, in intention. So the next time your voice can't do something, rather than blaming it for not working or blaming yourself for not being able to figure it out, please lean into, maybe I haven't heard the language yet that'll help it click for me. Let me know how that lands for you. Let me know how this whole video landed for you. I would love to hear. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you think so, lovely. Language is tricky for sure. It's easy to paint myself into a corner with the way I talk to myself. I am still exploring this. That's what we like to hear. Yeah. And it's so embedded. And we have, negativity bias to deal with and just years of conditioning. And those of you who have been singing for a long time and really believe that your voice is limited in these ways, it can feel unbelievable. And that's why, hopefully, my whole mission is to explode these excuses or these barriers or these ways that you box your voice in, to just show you what is possible. That's my whole mission here. And so how we do that could be through technique, it could be through language, it could be through embodied confidence, but that is what I am here for. That is what gets me out of bed. That's what lights me up. That's why I'm here. So if you would like to see me work with this in real time, I know it's going to come up in our masterclasses. So I'm running 2 free live masterclasses this weekend, and I would love for you to be there. Cecilia is going to be there. And yeah, it's really about showing you what is possible and just giving you plenty of light bulb moments that you can play around with your own voice. I have selected a bunch of people that will be featured who have really different concerns so that we can, play around with lots of different approaches. So I hope you can join me in the masterclasses. I've put the link below, above, wherever it lands here. And yes, there will be recordings of the classes. So if you can't make it in real time, you'll be able to catch up on that. Please, please, please let me know what the biggest takeaway you had from this video was and share it with anyone that you think would love the pants off it, would get a lot out of it. Thank you for being here. Take great care of yourself, and I hope I'll see you again soon. Bye.